I'm using the single player settings, default, and we're playing the island. Okay. When you first spawn in, you spawn on a beach. Relatively safe. First thing you always do is check your surroundings in the camera. I saw the Dilo right there. Dilophosaurus. Call them Dilos. Gonna start by picking up some stone. And punching this tree. I'm looking to get at least 10 thatch and 1 woods. As you can see, we pretty much spawn off naked. And one would say afraid, but I mean, come on. We're the battle rat. I have plenty of resources to go in and craft that. You'll spawn in and you're going to have folder view off, which will look like this. Folder view just means that when you have a large amount of engrams later in game, you'll be able to go through and they'll be organized into folders, like miscellaneous for your note, weapons for things like your bows, pickaxe, that kind of stuff. It's really nice. Take that, put that down there. You will gather more thatch with a pickaxe. Let's see, it's thatch, meat, and flint with a pickaxe. As you notice, I've gotten 5 stone out of that so far, and a bunch of flint. If I come smack the tree, I'm going to get a bunch more thatch than wood. Gonna make one of those because it'll come in handy at night. I'm going to pump up my carry weight. I like to get the spear and the stone hatchet over the campfire, mainly because of the fact that hatchet is required to make spear to get the wood for this. Spear because hide and killing stuff is easier with a spear. You're not going to be cooking meat if you can't get meat. Cut down a couple of wood and trees to get the wood I need. PlayStation, it's triangle, and you will gather things like picking up the stone off the ground, gathering fiber and whatnot from the bushes here. Pretty much all I'm doing is I'm going to go around, harvest a bunch of bushes, and I'm going to make a bunch of spears. 4. And the reason I'm making more than 1 is these do have a tendency to break at the worst times. I'm going to keep pumping weight until I reach about 150 to 200. Get the campfire because we definitely need that. We could be getting clothing, water skin so that we can get drinks easier. Ooh, white drop. And we just got enough to do that. So, I'm going to break down this. Okay. I need to make a campfire. going to gather as much fiber and stone as I can. While I'm waiting for the drop to hit the ground, I'm going to see if I can't find that Dilophosaur. Am I crazy? It was over here. Really don't want to run everywhere. It'll drain your stamina, then you won't be able to fight and run away. Prime fish meat's not going to be useful. While I'm looking at these most shops, I'm thinking hopefully one will have Tinto berry or a berry of some kind that I have. There it is. More raw prime fish. Okay. When fighting these guys, I try and get a surprise hit on them. That's what they look like when they break. Okay, I don't want the meat, I want the hide, so I'm going to use my axe, my hatchet. Now that I've done that, I'm going to run back. Hopefully this will have clothing in it. No, but it does have a bunch of resources I can use. I'm going to want to build a water skin. Again, that's just so I can continue to survive. Cool, it's raining. Now, I usually suggest finding a spot to build on that is safe. I'm dropping a campfire. Let's say... Actually, let's go take a look down that way. See how my luck is today. That is a Spinosaurus down there. You see the giant sail, giant lizard. Now, I generally suggest that if you're going to build a base, make sure there's no large carnivores like that. Now I could drop my campfire right here and try to continue to survive. But given there's a Spinosaurus down there, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I am going to swim across the river here. And move away from where that is. You're going to see that my food is depleting. It's at 42. I'm going to put some berries there. You can eat from your inventory. PlayStation, it is to consume. Right at the top above everything, it says L2 drops, R2 consumes. If you hit the consume button over it, it'll pretty much force feed you. Right here's a decent camping spot for me. I have protection from up there. This rock kind of blocks most things moving by. So now, I've got food cooking, which is great. You'll see that you'll have 30 seconds to pick anything up that you put down. For example, my campfire. If I had misplaced it, didn't want to put it there, I could have picked it back up and gotten it back. Now if I want to remove it, I have to demolish it. It'll give me half of the resources it took to craft it back. I'm gonna go ahead and go through this area. Get a bunch of thatch. Pretty much I'm going to go through, and in this area I'm going to clear cut the area, make it more useful for camping. Because I'm going to hunker down here, and I'm going to gain levels and try to survive. And you guys can tell me in the comments whether or not you want me to leave the gathering when we're building a base and everything. Whether you want me to leave the resource gathering in, or if you want it to be left out. I find it's really a grind to get all of this stuff, so I don't like recording it, but I'm going to record it, and if it stays in, cool. Again, you'll notice that some of the stuff I'm gonna leave that rock. You move slower while you're crafting. Of course, I'm hot at the moment, so I'll dehydrate quicker. When you're cold, you consume more food. Okay. I could equip the clothing. I'm not going to yet. You'll notice I just broke my tool. You can repair it by hitting the same button that it's assigned to. On PC, I believe it's 1 through 0. PlayStation, Xbox, it's going to be your D-pad going left, up, right, down. By holding your left bumper or L1, it'll switch your fist. And then you'll hit square, triangle, circle, X, left or right to interact with those buttons. Those are your hotkeys. So, I've now cleared my area. Okay. Now you can hit the R2 button, double click. Again, I'm not sure what the keys for PC are, but it should tell you what key or button to hit to equip your clothing. You'll notice that my current hypothermal and hyperthermal insulation is 33 and 84. If I take it off, of course it drops. I don't like the way the hat looks. So, into emotes, under hide hat, and there you go. He now no longer has his hat showing, but he's still wearing it and gets the benefits of it. I'm going to create a few of those, so nope. I'm going to rename these. So I don't have to open each one to figure out what's in it again. And I have a horrible memory, so we'll do a little 2x2. Finding where you want to put it. I like the idea of it being like right back here. Of course, I'm going to want to build a ramp so that you can get up into it. But now I can start building like a campfire up in here. Some storage units. Again, we're just gonna hunker down on this campsite. I'm gonna go around, collect a bunch of fiber because I'm going to need a lot of it. Possibly tame a couple of dodos for later on in the series. I mean, your first night is pretty much just finding a place to put your base down and not dying. You can hold your right trigger down, it'll constantly swing. You don't have to constantly tap it. We are doing the Easter event until the 21st, which means little bunny dodo here is dropping eggs. I have no reason to collect said eggs, so I ain't gonna worry about it. Again, I'm more interested in the hide, so I'm going to use a hatchet. hear it, but I don't see it. So you can tame animals in Ark. Some you have to knock out, some you don't. In this case, we need to knock out this dodo. Most effective way, just punch it. Throw the purple berries, mejo berries. Yellow is Amar, blue Azul, red Tinto, black Narco, white Stim, Mejos are the best berry to use for taming. Narco's second most used because Narcos will keep animals asleep. And the reason I'm taming a female dodo, give me a name for her in the comments and I will pick the best name and add it in. I carry my dodo because, one, it's quicker than making them follow you. Two, because as I'm walking, if a Dilophosaur comes along, I can then throw said dodo and it will be a meat shield. It's great. You'll most likely lose your dodo if you do that. But meat shield over, again, my primary objective is to survive, so I'm not above making a meat shield dodo. We're gonna go in, behavior. You can enable wandering. I don't do that. I'll lose them. Enable following. Enable the mating stuff. Don't worry about that. Target only conscious is very important because you only want them to attack something that is awake. That way, if you're trying to tame something, they won't attack it. You can change how close they follow. Lowest, they're going to be like right up on you, and in some cases, the dino will push you around. Low, they'll be able to sniff. Medium is default. High, and highest you've got to be like just outside of being able to see them. Targeting, same thing. Right up against them, a few steps away, a few feet away, and the furthest you can set them to aggressive, which they'll attack everything. Passive, they won't attack anything even if they're being attacked. They will attack your target. Neutral, they'll attack if they are attacked. Passive, flee. Basically, they won't attack, they'll just run, which is great in some cases. Given it's getting closer to night, we're going to add in that and that, because more food is always good. I forgot to grab my narcos from her. I'm just gonna throw that in there. Alright, now my narcos, my mejos. If it's an herbivore, put some food on it. Berries. Mejos is what they will prefer over any other berry. So if I put these mejo berries in, when the dodo gets hungry, instead of eating the yellow berry, the Amar berry, it will eat one of the mejos. I'm gonna see if that happens while we're in here. because majos are used for taming things, I try not to leave them with the dinos. At night it gets pretty dark, so I try not to roam around, because if I can't see them but they can see me, I still end up dead. I don't want to die, so I don't run around. You can fish, but I can't really see at night, so in the morning, the first thing I'm going to do is probably head back over that direction to see if I can't find some more dodos, preferably female, because I am going to need those. I have a torch. I can throw said torch down on the ground, for example, like so, and it will provide light. Pick it up and equip it again, and it will give me light while I'm running over here. Again, I'm just coming over here to see if I can't find any non-bunny dodos. I'm not really worried about a dodo's level, because I'm not planning on breeding them for anything. If anything, I'm just collecting a bunch of them so that I can get as many eggs as possible out of them. Pick some names for the dodos that we have in this episode, and I will be picking the best of them. I plan on getting 3 females and 1 male. Dodos have an egg-laying rate of 8% chance every time they poop. From what I understand, it is increased if there is a mating boosted dodo versus a non-mated mate boosted dodo. There we go. Now I could go back and see if I couldn't kill the bunny dodo to get another female. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. You have ambient sounds like that howling. I can still pick up stone and bushes using a torch. before anyone asks in the comments, yes, I have tried playing online. I'm not a fan of online. Mostly griefers, and it's... a lot of servers out there are running modified settings and whatnot, so that it's a lot easier to do the base building and whatnot. I find that boring. When I play a survival game, especially like Ark, where you can level up, I prefer being able to actually progress naturally. Goodbye, Dodo. So earlier I was saying that there are knockout tames and non-knockout tames. This Listrosaur is a passive tame, which means I take what it wants, put it in my hotbar where I would normally put my food, and then I hit the triangle to tame it. And then I need to wait nearby so that I can continue to feed it. We don't want to be able to run away from stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and tell it that that's what I want. I'm just going to end up making a... where'd it go? There it goes. Making a little box base, as I like to call it. I'm not going to get too intricate with my design. It's going to be a little 2x2 box. And the reason I'm walking away from it, staying in the area, keeping my eyes open for any more carnivores, is because it takes time in between feeding. It's not like I can just spam feed and it will eat the berries. Also, it's got that green racing stripe, which is kind of cool. See how it says wait until it's hungry again? And the reason I'm taming a Listrosaur is they have a unique ability. You can pet it and it will increase the passive XP gain of the dinos around it. It's basically them staying alive will level them up quicker. And again, I'm just going to sit here and stick around the area, keep my eyes open, make sure no Dilophosaurs come by to eat this little guy. Dilophosaurs, raptors. If it gets in that water, megalodons. Because nothing's more terrifying than a giant shark in the water. Except for jellyfish and Toothless. There are plenty of scarier things in the water than a giant shark, but the giant shark is something you have to watch out for right now. you'll notice as I'm looking at it, it says taming effectiveness 96.8. It'll get 0 levels from being tamed. You can increase that by using kibble. There are more preferred berries you can use. I could be using Amar berries, and that will give me less taming effectiveness. And it's a per bite chance that it lowers its taming effectiveness. Like every time it eats, that goes down. Okay, that was a pterodon. He's probably going to take 3 more bites. Ooh, maybe only 1 more bite. He'll take 1 or 2 more bites, and then he'll be our little friend. This one I am naming in an homage to one of my favorite YouTubers, and someone who kind of helped me understand Ark a little better. So first thing I'm going to do is behavior, lowest, behavior, neutral, and then I'm going to pet him. Again, I like to throw some berries on him just so that he doesn't die from starvation. If I could pick him up, I would, but I can't. So we're just going to have this little guy follow us all the way home. Ooh, is that a female? Nope, another male. I see the green. I'm not going to be able to pick it up, so I'm not going to rush over to it. The progression of these drops is white, green, blue, red, purple, orange? I think. I'm not positive. And as you can see, he's slow. And he may get caught up on stuff. And whites are level 3, greens are 15, blues are 25, reds are 35 for your loot drop, loot crate thing. See, they each have a level. I'm going to whistle all stop. Plenty of berries for everyone. But you'll notice, when you pet the Lystrosaur, it gets this green little experience thing, and it gives it to all the dinos around it, which is great because, you know, leveling up your dinos quicker is kind of cool. You know what? I'm gonna throw the seeds in there. I don't need that. I can always use more food. I accidentally put my fire up. Okay. I need to make a couple of spears because I don't like going out without them. Means it is now 6 a.m. We're gonna have to check something out here in a minute. Even though I want my door to be right here, I'm going to put a wall there. I need to see if I can easily access it from here.